Okay, tell me. Hello, hello, everybody. The kids are in here. Buddy's in here.
Buddy's trying to attack me.
It's full out mayhem in the shed right now. I'm trying to eat. It's life. You know, it's life. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. I greatly appreciate it. Super happy I have Tiffany with me. That's Brooke. I need to go past Brooke to Tiffany. Tiffany is filling in for Sonny. He is at the hospital with baby Mateo tonight. So Tiffany graciously agreed to fill in. Yeah, she hasn't been on in a while, so I'm super happy to have her back on. Geno is below me, my good friend Geno's Finds. And then Catty Corner is Amy YosoBoho. So everybody here has been on before, which is nice. And I'm going to make all three of them big, let them introduce themselves. And we have quite a few questions, so definitely get your questions in early. And we have a few super chats that I will grab first. But first, we'll let everybody introduce themselves. Here's Geno.
Well, it's really nice being back again. Now, my YouTube channel is Geno's Finds, and I go on these little excursions, Goodwills and thrift stores, and once in a while a garage sale. I find stuff, and then I film it and show you guys, and you just have a great time watching. I know you do.
All right, perfect. Here is that. I was making sure you were done. Here's Amy.
I know.
Hey y'all, I'm Amy. My channel is YosoBoho. I also do thrifting excursions. We go shopping 3 times a week. I do sales that are unlive sales. So they're like drop sales with an offer up style. I do a couple of those a month. They're really fun. And yeah, I focus on eBay. So thanks, Kat, for having me again.
You are welcome. Here is Miss Tiffany.
Hi, everybody. I am Tiffany. I'm Thrifting Vegas. It's really nice to be here. I'm sad that Sunny's not here as well, but fingers crossed that baby can come home soon. My channel on YouTube is Thrifting Vegas. I do long form thrift with me's, and I've recently started to do shorts at the encouragement of YouTube, and they're going quite well. YouTube has shorts viewers and long form viewers and a little bit of a crossover. So it's really exciting to be gaining new subscribers and making new friends with those. I also have an online store. It's thriftingvegas.com. And I do dabble a bit on Instagram and TikTok.
Perfect. I actually, and I don't know if you know, I stopped thrifting, Tiffany.
You stopped thrifting?
I stopped thrifting because I was only doing
it out loud.
No, I only did it for content though. And so I'm doing auction hauls now. So people still get to see the cool stuff I'm finding. I'm just not going thrifting just to thrift, because in my area, there's not high dollar stuff. So I get all the stuff that really I didn't like love and end up with tons of stuff. And instead I decided to do auction hauls.
Yeah,
which has been going
all about that, isn't it?
Yeah, the how to buy on them. I hadn't updated in over 2 years. It was absolutely crazy. When I looked, I was like, oh my, I didn't realize it had been that long. And I always refer people back. And now it's funny because I've lost a lot of weight. So I don't look the same. And I was telling them last week, I tried to do something that I had to verify with my license and it said I wasn't me. So I guess maybe I need to get a new license. I'm like, what do I do? Like it said you are not you. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was torn because I felt like I had to make videos. And so I decided I'd just show hauls and people could see the stuff as it's coming in still, which
Great
we'll
way to
see. I've only
preview.
done like 2 of them. I'm recording my 3rd now, and we'll see. The views are lower because I know they like thrifting, but I'm hoping that people will start wanting to see that. I hope. All right. We have 3 super chats. Oh, 4 super chats before we even started. So, hey, I had that too. Sent a $2 super chat, and she wants to know, where do you source your boxes and your supplies from?
I source all my, well, I think I've told people this before, but I live in the villages in Florida, and we don't have garbage cans. They're not allowed here. So everybody puts out their stuff in boxes. I drive around on Mondays and Thursdays, and I get all the boxes I need. Every once in a while, I'll run out of 4x6x8 because that's the size of most stuff that I buy. And I'll buy them through eBay because every 3 months you get a $25, not a check, but a free coupon for them. And that's where I get them. Oh, and just ask a neighbor. They'll save them for you too.
Mhm. Yeah, I get a lot from friends and family, but I do buy new boxes for my branded stuff. So like my live sales, I like to put them in new materials. So I watch the prices on Amazon, and I have, like a buy again, I can check and see what's cheapest. And there's definitely boxes that are go-to sizes like Geno. I use exam table paper. This is like a new thing in the past year. Instead of like heavy paper, I've been using exam table paper, which has been really
Oh, like
neat.
the rolls?
Yes. Yeah. You can get them in boxes, and there's like a dozen rolls in there, and they're just real like airy. Like if you have breakable stuff, it's really neat to pack like stuff around your breakables. And then I get foam at a secret source. I have a friend who her husband works at an auto shop. And so all the foam that comes in all their packaging, he puts aside for me. And that has been like an amazing thing. So if you can find a free source for like paper or foam or bubble wrap or anything, that's always good.
Yeah, I do the same. I have friends and neighbors save everything for me. I have kids, so we get a lot of stuff on Amazon. I thrift all I can. If I come across rolls of paper at the thrift store or garage sales, I'm going to get that. Boxes I get from a local supplier here in Vegas. If you live in Vegas, it's Ray Miller Supply, and he is fantastic. He's so wonderful to deal with, and he will deliver. So I get a big order maybe 3-4 times a year, and it just gets delivered to me. And like Geno said, if you have an eBay store, you get a coupon every quarter, $25 coupon, and you can use it for tape, for tissue, for boxes, whatever you need. So that's really nice.
So I get mine from all over the place because I look for the lowest prices. Sometimes I order boxes off eBay. Supply Hut is one that has decent prices, but I also lately have gotten a few foldable boxes off of Temu. And they're actually decent quality for my jewelry, like they're little 4x4 by 2 inch. And then I don't use jewelry boxes, which actually cost as much as those boxes do. We just wrap it in bubble wrap and put it in the box versus putting it in a poly mailer. And then I buy a ton from Amazon. So we reuse all of our Amazon boxes. But we use the shipping coupon as well. We go through a lot though, especially with Whatnot. Like I'm doing 5 to 6 Whatnots a show, selling 100 to 150 items per show. So you can imagine the amount of boxes that we go through. For Poshmark, definitely get your free Ground Advantage supplies. I will say that. We do get those. We have, Amy hasn't seen it. Look, we make our own bubble. And this is amazing for wrapping stuff.
That's
so
awesome.
I got the bubble machine. It was like $129, and then you can get over 1,000 foot of this for $29.
What?
And
Wow.
and it makes it. So we fill up this old laundry basket, and it, especially for breakables. Today we had several big breakables go out, and then it also makes the 4x8 air pillows. So instead, like, I don't use peanuts anyways, but we're using a lot less paper and regular bubble wrap that I have to buy because we make that. And we line the boxes with that one and then use the air pillows for filler versus using paper. And yeah, I made Elena addicted to Temu. So the bubble maker has been amazing. Yeah, it was Brad. Brad came on Black Sheep Society and he had one and I was like, what? I was like, I got to get it. And I think he paid like $200, but I found one for $130. I'm cheap. Which, speaking of, the boxes on Amazon, like Amy was saying, she watches the prices. You can go, I can't ever find it on my phone, but on the computer, you drop down the category Amazon resale, and there will be boxes that the outer box of the boxes is damaged, so you get it discounted. And that's how I get all my jewelry boxes. I'll sit there and watch, and then when I see them and they'll be like 20-30% off, and I might lose like one or two, like a corner of the outer packaging is ripped. And that's how we got our big TV boxes for paintings too, because those are expensive. And yeah, and for other stuff, like I buy like our snorkel masks and stuff were really expensive. They had damaged ones of them. Dalton says yes. So I check Amazon resale for almost everything, because if they damage the box at the warehouse, they'll discount it. And it's the same thing. It's still new. It just has outer damage to the package. And yeah, I love that. All right, let's do, what are we going to do? What do you want to do, Dalton? The whale, the pillow fight, mermaids, the pillow fight. Dalton says the pillow fight. Here you go. We showed that last week while Brooke was in here, and I'm like, Brooke's still the same size, but he is not. That was 3 years ago when we went up to Tybee Island. So he could see his favorite YouTuber. We went to see Blippi at the time, which he absolutely loved. And Blippi was in concert in Savannah, and we drove 4 hours to see Blippi for Dalton and had fun. All right. Carrie says, what is your least favorite selling platform and why? But what is your favorite thing about that same platform?
I only sell on eBay and Facebook, but my least favorite would be Facebook, because lately there's been a lot of scams on there, people trying to rip you off. So I don't like that. But the best thing about Facebook is people come to my house and pick up the stuff and pay me in cash, so no one has to know about it. So don't tell the IRS, please. And I don't have to wrap it. I don't have to ship it. I love that. So that's the thing I love the most about Facebook. But my number one is eBay. I mean, you got to love eBay. It's got such a wide variety of people, and that's got to be my favorite. What I hate about eBay, I don't think I hate much about it, except they do side with the buyer more than they do the seller, and that sometimes can get annoying. And that's it.
Yeah, I would pretty much echo everything Geno just said. But my least favorite is probably any live selling. So Whatnot is like my least favorite. I'm just not a comfortable live seller. Like I wish I was. I just am not. But my favorite thing about Whatnot is it's all compact and in there. So all of those good like live selling platforms have all the information in there. So when I do my sales, like here on YouTube, I have to track everything and I have to put everything into PayPal and I have to send invoices and all that stuff. But on a platform like Whatnot, all of that's done and it's so nice.
I think my least favorite has to be Poshmark, because Poshmark, you tend to get really low offers and I don't like to say no. So I end up, selling things lower than I wanted to. But the thing I love about Poshmark is that the buyer pays for shipping and it's flat rate up to £5. So you don't have to worry about, the weight. You can just pack it really well and put things in, like Kat said, the Ground Advantage boxes that you can get free now. You just have to send them an email and they'll send you.
Somebody said it's in the app now. I haven't tried it in the app. Somebody said it's in the app now. I did the email thing, but I haven't tried it in the app yet.
Yeah.
So what's your, the shipping is a favorite. So my least favorite is going to be Mercari, and why is because I don't get sales on there. It's all the children are on. Look, Jake. So I don't get a lot of sales on there, but my favorite thing about them is they have the least amount of fees out of all the platforms. So I get the least amount of sales, but they have the least amount of fees. So yeah, it's hard. Like I looked at my week this week and Mercari was 0.48%, not even 1% of my sales. Like that's how bad it is. And it sucks because their fees are so much lower. I have started, and like you guys might like, since Trish came, she's been like hammering me about doing either free or flat rate shipping, because she said like you don't come up in Google search if they don't know the total price. So if you do calculated, she's saying a lot of your listings won't get seen no matter where they're listed. And so I have started like my jewelry, because it's all lightweight. I put all of that, the newer ones that I'm putting up, I put to free shipping. And when we were going through the inventory, the clothing that's been here 2 years, same thing. I put it to free shipping because I'm like, at this point, if I get something, it's better than just tossing it out. And I do, it's different. I've started putting in the SKU though, FS for free shipping. So I know, because I don't, like I send 50% off offers on stuff listed more than a year, and I don't want to send 50% off plus give them free shipping. So then I'm just doing 30%, but we're going to see if it makes a difference, because she's saying it should bump me up in the search algorithm on eBay too, and in Google. I know it'll take some time. She just was here last week. But I'm hoping to start seeing something.
Did you say, Kat, you can also do a flat rate? So you could put like $4 for anybody and it'll come up with that? She
said, and she met, because she does like the education for List Perfectly. So she goes to like a lot of meetings and stuff with like Google and all of that. And basically they have to know so if it's free, they know what they're paying. And if you do like $4 or $8 or whatever, Google knows that for every single person, it costs that much.
Right.
And so they'll show it. And I looked, and she showed me how to look, and my external traffic on eBay is so minuscule, it's not even funny. So I'm hoping to see a bump so you can actually watch it. And the first 2 days that I did it, I saw a bump, but so did a lot of other people. So I think that might've been a fluke. So I'm waiting maybe a month, and then I'm going to go back and see if now I'm getting this external traffic, because you can, like with jewelry, it's most of the time, like $5. So I could just mark everything up $5 and put free shipping on it. If that'll help me get, noticed more and get more sales, then it's hard. The whole change thing is hard when you've been, calculated, but if it's proven and I know it'll get me more sales, I'm going to do that. But that means even like your own website, Tiffany, if I don't know if you do calculated, or do you just have flat rate on your own?
I have flat rate on there. Yeah.
Okay. So those would get picked up because they know like what they're paying. So,
gosh,
all right,
that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And she, I guess, went to like a Google like presentation thing. It's not letting me scroll. So I guess I got to pick from the super chats I can see. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Let's try again. No, it will not let me scroll the super chats. This is very weird. All right. So here, I'll do it. Dalton was really little here. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Dalton.
He was tiny there. All right. Oh, let me pull it up. It'll take me 2 seconds. Sari said she sent a question to my email. Hopefully to my Nurse Flipper email. I hope. Oh, yep, I see it. Okay, so she says, I have a $400 Shriner brooch for sale. I have a handling fee on that due to insurance. The lady's hounding me to buy it and remove the charge to cover the insurance. She said she ships $800 plus items all over the world and never puts insurance on them. Question is, how do I handle this? If I remove the insurance and something happens to it in shipping, I'm screwed because eBay will refund her cash out of my pocket. What does she do to cover her own butt? Or what would you do in this situation? So $400 brooch, she did a handling fee to cover the insurance. The buyer does not want to pay it. What would you do?
$400 brooch. And she said she's the one that's going to get stuck paying it if something happens in the mail or the lady's maybe doing a little scam with her. I would say that's the price. And you might lose the sale. Well, what are you going to do? Be out $400 possibly? How much? What kind of mood are you in? You in Vegas mood? Ask Tiffany.
I would say.
I would.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
I would say if it's a $400 brooch, depending on what you have in it, just cover it. I mean, I usually cover my insurance. It's just part of doing the business. But if you're making a lot of money and it's a $400 deal, then it shouldn't be too much to cover it. Maybe $14-15.
Yeah, I agree with Amy completely. Yeah,
No,
I don't think it would
she
even
say
be
it
that
cost her
much.
$400?
No, the insurance is going to be just a little bit of money.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
fair.
you had to pay
It's
$400. I'm
really
sorry.
Yeah.
I
$5
didn't mean to
maybe.
interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I would do the same as Amy. Just go ahead and for a $400 sale, I would definitely
So,
cover the insurance.
It's $6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to echo the last two. I do not even put a handling fee. I do not ask my buyers to cover that because when I make a $400 sale, I have enough profit in it that I can pay for the insurance.
Yeah.
I do not expect or ask my customers to. I never ask them to. And for $6, you have that peace of mind. I think it needs to have it. I don't agree with her saying she's shipping $800 items without insurance. Anything over $100, we insure to the cost of that item out of our pocket. But again, like the higher it goes, that's that much more profit that I'm making. So I'm okay covering it for them. That's just like, I don't do a handling fee for like shipping a table that is a pain in the butt to box up because I have enough profit in it to like compensate us for the time of shipping it. So I would personally, I would cover it, especially if she's paying full price and not trying to like lowball, you know. I found it and now I can't find your question again. Where did it go? I think I read everything though. Why? I can't find it. I don't know what my computer's doing. I might like it still won't scroll for the super chats. It's very, very weird. Okay. So I'm going to pick, I have very few I can pick from. I can only see the top few. So hopefully that helps. But if you paid a lot, I want to say this, if you paid a lot and there's not much room in the profit, then you can stick to your guns. I use Gemini. We were talking about that earlier. Or any AI, Chat GPT, Grok, and I will type what I want to say, and then I will tell it to refine it. And it tells me, let's do this a little less harsh. And it like taps me on the back of the hand. And it will refine the message, and then my buyers don't get mad. And it'll word it where it's very professional. So I use that a lot. I've actually taught my employee to use that as well when responding to questions, just because it kind of polishes it and says it properly when we want to say hello, you know. And to me, like if you're buying a $400 brooch, what the heck is $8, you know, like. But, you know, again, so if you don't have much room, then you might want to construct with one of the AIs and tell them, I'm sorry, you know, I need to cover this. This is just tell them it's your business's policy. They don't know it's just you. I say that all the time. I spoke to my shipping manager, which is me. They don't know how big or how little you are, you know, and just tell them, I'm sorry, that's our policy, and have Gemini say it nicely for you. All right, here is, let's do it. Let's do the mermaids. Here you go. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's see. Crimea River said I could not buy insurance on a recent higher dollar item within eBay. It only let me cover up to $159, so I bought signature delivery instead. The only reason that I can see that it would only let you cover up to $159 is that's what you sold it for. So their value is going to be, it's going to top out at whatever you sold it for. They're not going to let you insure it for more. So that's the only reason I could think of. It's not what you value it at, it's what it sold at. That is what they consider the value. All right, let's see. We did that one. We did that one. Miss Elena, my good friend Treasure. Elena, I can't get to the cat. Hold on. I'm going to disappear for 2 seconds. I'm going to refresh my screen. I think it'll take me out, but hopefully it'll fix StreamYard's wackiness. Hold on.
She left us alone.
When the cat's away. Didn't she say something about a cat?
It was really fast. Let's see if it fixed it. Oh, yes, it did. Okay, so I can give Eleanor her kitty cat. She said, hello, everybody. Looking forward to tonight's show. So since I can now scroll, here is your kitty cat.
That's a cute.
Geno made that one, but Geno made us a really good Marsha one, but I didn't get it downloaded in time. So we will have that for you guys next week with Marsha on it. So let's see. I'm so glad I can scroll now. It's not Mark, it's Joel. Joel is the owner of American Bubble Boy. Nothing, because I was using paper and stuff. I still buy plenty of bubble wrap from Joel, I assure you. We go through like probably 8,000 square feet a month of bubble wrap. A lot.
Wow.
Well, I've been doing collectible live sales. So we're talking 100 breakable items that are getting shipped in a day.
Wow.
Because I did house clean out. So I just grab whatever it is. And like, I sold like 14-inch vases. It's absolutely crazy. Especially when they sell for $3, then you're like, what am I doing with my life? But yeah, so Joel, I still buy plenty. Mary wants to know, and I guess we can all say in our own thoughts, what are the disadvantages of offering free shipping, since I was talking about that?
The disadvantages is you're making less money. And
unless you mark it up to cover it.
Unless you've marked it up in advance, because they're going to ask you for free shipping usually after you list it. I would just think it's going to cost you. If you're willing to pay for free shipping, that's the worst part of it. I mean, I can't think of anything else why. Maybe Amy can, because she's smart.
I'll tell you what, I don't do free shipping. If you want something I'm selling, you're going to want it shipped and you have to pay for it.
And that was me 2 weeks ago.
However, there's a caveat. If it's something that when I go to comp it, all the rest of the listings are offering free shipping, I'm like, damn you. And I got to offer free shipping because everybody else is, for some reason on that item, doing free shipping. So that's the only caveat.
It used to be, I don't know whether this has changed. I used to sell, before I started YouTube, I used to sell shoes on eBay. That was my main thing, shoes. And if you offer free shipping on shoes and they get returned, you have to you have to pay for the return shipping. But if you charge shipping and the shoes get returned, your buyer pays that. So for me, that's why I would never offer free shipping on shoes. I take it item by item. Like Amy was saying, you know, it depends what everybody else is doing. You want to stand out on eBay. So if everybody else has free shipping, what you're going to do is make your item less expensive and add reasonable shipping. So at a quick glance, it looks like your item is less.
Yep.
You know, it's just, you know, you got to play with it.
And if they're smart, like, and I do this as a seller, I filter by price plus shipping lowest first. I don't care if they're giving me free shipping or not. I want whatever one's the lowest cost.
Yep.
Tiffany hit the nail on the head for me. Like if I get items returned where normally I could hold that shipping back if they change their mind or whatever, I will not have the option to do that with free shipping. So hopefully it doesn't. So Crimea River says the order was a $200 order, but they couldn't buy insurance for that amount. Was it $200 for the item only, or was there total 200? Because they'll only let you insure the cost of the item, not the cost of the shipping. But that, yeah, that is weird. You can always go to Pirate Ship, and I think Pirate Ship will let you put whatever the heck insurance you want on it. So you could put higher because they're not, you know, eBay where they're going to stop that.
Yeah,
all right,
Pirate Ship for everything.
Yeah. Shy, which he was just on with us on the show. If you guys didn't see it, definitely check him out. Shy wants to know, have any of us had $1,000 profit day on eBay? Not sales, but actual profit. And what was it that you sold to make $1,000 in profit?
I had a couple of $1,000 profit. Well, I would have to say weeks, not days. Around Christmas time, I was selling 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items a day. And that's when I made a lot of money. It was my best year, 2025, not 1925. I'm not that old yet. 2025.
My biggest profit days have been personal sales. So a couple of years ago, I sold almost all of my early 90s concert tees. And I was like Nirvana fan, Depeche Mode fan, The Cure, all of those t-shirts. They were crazy, crazy valuable. And all of it, you know, was profit. So that would be my biggest one. And most recently, I sold a game that I had, a PlayStation 2 game that was like just sitting on my shelf. I was watching somebody else who found these horror games, and I'm like, I played a horror game back in the day, and I went to my old games, and here it was, and it's worth like $900. I was like, get that on eBay now. It's sitting on a shelf. So that was a nice profit.
It's been a while for me because I do most of my selling from my videos and from my website. But when I used to sell shoes, I sold a bunch of Kobe Bryant shoes I got from the same estate sale. They were size 15s, and the same fellow bought them all on eBay, and that was a really good day.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had multiple $1,000 profit days on eBay. I know, like, my biggest sales were two $3,500 Judith Lieber purses to the same buyer. So that was 7,000. Well, yeah, 7,000 in sales, and I spent 1,600. So that was actually over $3,000 in profit that day on 2 purses that went to the same buyer. I sold a Romero Brito for over $4,000. It was an artist proof painting, and I paid $500. So that one was over $2,000 in profit. And I've had a couple of Capodimonte Disney pieces that sold for over $3,000 that I was like $500 to $600 in. I haven't had any of these in a while. All of these are stuff from a while ago. But yeah, so mine were all ones where it was like 1 or 2 like high dollar items that I just got really good deals on. I've had a couple of jewelry pieces too. Same thing. But yeah, I've got, we're actually listing some now. I've got some new, Oriental fabric things. I don't know if you guys remember. I did a video on it. I bought 2 of them for $1 each. One sold for $700, one sold for $1,200. And I've got a piece that's very, very similar to that I paid $1.80 for. And I'm going to pop it up on auction, which is what I did with those 2. So watch my catch treasure hunting, because that haul video is coming out hopefully tomorrow. I've been going through this stuff, and I've just got, like, this last pickup was some amazing, like, especially the Oriental lot that I was $1 something into each. It's got multiple $100, $200, $300 pieces.
What are they? They're silks or something?
Yeah, I wonder if she listed it. It might. Oh, it's right here. Hold on. I don't want you to see my butt. I'm gonna get it. It's right here.
Oh, you left the camera on. We can see your butt.
No, I don't want you to see my butt. So it's actually here. And they're actually like a rank from China. And so they're like rank badges that are off of outfits. And so, I mean, like, they're super detailed, but somebody sewed this one, I think, to almost make it a pillow.
Wow.
So but they came in pairs, because it was like on the front and back of their uniform, and people cut them out and saved them. And yikes, like, there's strings everywhere. But this one was just thrown in there, and I was like, what? But some of these have sold for like $1,700 for single ones.
Fantastic. What a find.
And some of my best sales as far as Oriental stuff has been fabric stuff like that. And that's where, like, I don't really specialize in that. So I take a ton of pictures. I start it low, and I let the collectors decide, because I'm like, I don't know if it's authentic or not. So I just took a ton of pictures, and it was crazy. I listed I can't remember if I started $1 or $100. But I had offers of like 500, 800, and I'm like, and I mean within minutes. Yeah. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, okay, I've got some, because obviously if they're a collector, they know what they're looking at. So I think
mostly domestic, or are they going overseas?
They go back to China.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Most of them go back where they came from, which is cool. But there's a lot of other stuff in that. And I think because I got such a great price, I'm going to throw them all up on auction and just like 10-day auction them. That's like I told my employee, I want them done by Thursday so I can do 10-day auctions, and I'm just going to let them roll. And I mean, like I don't see me losing out on it. Because I got them so low cost. I did the math, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like $1, I think it was $1.80 each, which is crazy.
Can I ask another question? When you do your auctions like that, because I'm about to put up one that I'm excited about. Do you start them on Tuesday, or did you say Wednesday? Like
Thursday.
On Thursday to finish?
So I do Thursday, so I get 2 full weekends. So I get 2 Saturdays and 2 Sundays. So I start them on Thursday night at I think I end them at like 8 or 9 my time, so 5 or 6 West Coast time. And I'll schedule them. Like, I'll go in and schedule them to start Thursday, at whatever time.
I was thinking Tuesday to Friday, because that's like payday. But I like the weekend thing. That's smart.
If it's higher dollar stuff, though, people aren't waiting for payday. Yeah. And with that, I've got to decide, is there going to be, because I always put the offers on. I got to decide, like, is there an amount that, like, if somebody sends me like $1,000 offer, that I'm going to say, okay, I stop. Because the other ones, I ended up letting them go, and they did go over those initial offers. Well, I think the one went to $700 and I had an $800 offer, but the other one went to $1,200. But I'm like, it was, my phone was like going off all night with offers. And I was like, oh, this means I should let this auction just go. Yeah. We should not accept these offers with all of this interest so fast, you know?
Totally.
So I'll have to decide with those, like, am I gonna take it down, or am I gonna do what I did last time and just let it go? Constance wants to know if anybody else is seeing views go up and down on an item by a lot in one day. So like if you're watching the views on an item, are you noticing a change?
I don't watch the views on my item. I only watch when the ringing sound. I listen for that. That's it. I'm sorry, but I don't.
Yeah, I really don't either. I'm sure I have in the past, like if it's something I'm excited that I've listed. But yeah, no, I haven't noticed anything.
No, I don't watch that either.
Yeah, and I have 9,000 items. I would be scrolling all day, and then I would to scroll back. Yeah, it would be a lot. So I don't have the time. Carlene wants to know, can you give any advice on real versus fake turquoise, especially when buying on an auction or on eBay?
I can't. I have no idea.
You know what? I got a piece of turquoise that I had no idea if it was real or fake. It turned out to be real. It's like slab turquoise. It's huge. So I learned a lot at that point in time, but I think your expert's probably Kat for turquoise.
Deferring to Kat.
I am not.
No?
I can tell like how light. So like the biggest giveaway is going to be like the marks are like exactly the same on a stone. You know, like they're in a pattern. Real turquoise is not going to do that. That's dyed howlite. You can, if you don't care about the piece of jewelry, you can put a lighter to it and it will melt if it is fake. But then you're ruining that piece of jewelry. So what I do is I buy from an auction house that specializes in Native American jewelry, and they specialize in turquoise. So most times they even give me the type of turquoise, but those are the items that I am paying $100, $200, $300, $500 for one piece. You know, like my cuff bracelets that sell for $2,000. And when it comes in, like I can tell by handling it just over time. But I'm sure there's video. Like I don't feel like an expert with the stones. Like I've said it before, because people ask me to make videos, and like me, it's just like feel and experience, because I've been handling it and dealing with it so long. It's nothing I can teach or explain to somebody, if that makes sense. I can look at it, but I can't teach you how to look at it. But I bet money there are people that specialize in it that have videos that will teach you. Yeah, that know way more than me. So I know like what I know, and I can see it. And I prefer to buy most of my turquoise from that one auction house, because they have a specialist and identify the type of turquoise. Like they go a step further, and I know the type of turquoise a lot of times, which helps, I think, as well. I want to put this up here. I didn't hear this. John has been on the show before. Flipping ain't easy. They said he had an attempted burglary. Somebody tried to get in his garage. We actually, 2 or 3 nights ago, we bought, and I've told you guys, we bought a camper just in case. I bought a gutted camper for $1,000, just in case I needed somewhere while I was doing my inventory to like move stuff out to be able to organize. I haven't needed it yet, but Dalton saw a light through the window, and we live in the country and we live on 11 acres. So I have a lot of land, and there was somebody at our camper with a light shining it in the camper.
Oh, wow.
Which is empty. It is empty. I will tell you, and I've said it before, my boyfriend buys and sells guns for a living. And he went out there armed and said, hey, what are you? And they told him that they lived here. And he told them they did not live here. He lived here, and they needed to leave. And they did. And we did file a police report non-emergency. And not to get gruesome, but Florida is a stand your ground state. And if somebody is on your property and will not leave, you can legally shoot them. So I bought no trespassing signs just to CYA. Brooke's like, Mom, we don't have no trespass. So I bought tons of them. I'm going to put them around the border of my property. Yeah. And I told him, I'm like, don't go shooting somebody just because they're here. And he's like, no, I know better than that. But yeah, like, how do they, like, this person said, I live here, said they lived in my camper. And my neighbor said they saw somebody walking down the road that looked like they were on drugs. And then Brooke last night said there were a ton of police cars searching for someone. So I'm wondering if all of this is connected and like somebody just happened to find my neck, because I've had no problems. I've lived here 13 years, no problems. But I also have 2 house clean outs in my barn, which is closer to the road than the camper. So I'm like, ooh, like, but we're going to get, I think I'm going to get more spotlights. I found a Temu. They offered to pay me. I didn't take it. I don't know why. I give them all my money. They have solar powered spotlights. They have solar powered cameras that record that are really low cost. So I think those are going to go up on the barn here soon and go up on the camper. But yeah, I hate to hear of anybody that did that. And I want to say, and I guess we can go around and ask, because we get to ask this sometimes, but do you have insurance on your inventory in your business?
I do not have any insurance, but I do have a sign on my garage door that says, please take this. That's for all my dead merchandise. I just want them to rob me. They just won't come in.
That's so funny. You know, I can't actually insure mine because I live in a 1928 house that has old electric. And until it's completely upgraded, I'm like grandfathered into my insurance as it is. So, no.
So you can't add any more on.
I cannot right now, no. We have plans, though, to upgrade so that I can do that.
Yeah, I think I boosted our homeowners insurance just a bit to cover the storage room, inventory room.
And a lot of people's homeowners will cover your inventory. You have to ask them if it's just in your house. Mine is not in my house, so I have a separate policy that covers my inventory, and I have it covered for cost of replacement, not retail, because I'm not gonna do that. And we're talking a big difference in like cost of what I paid compared to what I have stuff listed for. So I didn't have it until it was my only income, because like if somebody broke in and like took our computers or took a bunch of inventory, it would affect not only me, but I have employees too. And that's my only source of income. So mine covers my inventory. It covers the sheds and all of our equipment. So the computers, like my cameras, things like that. And if because of where we're at, if we get a hurricane and it took out one of these sheds, especially the one I'm sitting in, which is the main one we operate out of, it will actually pay me the average of my sales for the last 3 months for 3 months. So if we're shut down trying to fix it, it will cover that, and I would get my sales money back. And it's not, I want to say it's like $300 a month, but I make $20,000 in sales. So paying $300 a month to know that if something goes down, I'm going to get $20,000 a month for 3 months. That to me, it is worth it. And I think mine, I can't remember. It's one of the Liberty Mutual, I think, is who is covering my inventory. But yeah, so my homeowners would not cover my inventory. They cover the outbuildings, I think like 30,000 if like the hurricane destroys. So I kind of have double coverage because my business policy would cover it and my homeowners would cover up to a certain amount on the sheds as well. LJ is saying that George did an interview with a turquoise expert. So that would probably be a great video to find for sure. Let's see. Laura wants to know, and I want to know if you're in this question, does your post office offer free ground advantage boxes? So she's asking, can I use the free ground advantage boxes from the post office for Poshmark?
Mine doesn't offer it.
Post office have them?
Mine doesn't offer it, so I'm going to go to her post office. No.
Yeah, I've seen people talk about these free boxes and Poshmark and using them on other. I don't sell on Poshmark, and I haven't even looked into or inquired about free boxes or free shipping.
The question is usually, can I use the free Ground Advantage boxes from Poshmark for my
Right.
other shipping, like eBay?
Yeah.
That's usually the question. And I'm kind of divided on this because a lot of people say that they're supposed to be exclusively for Poshmark, and some post offices actually have a problem if you use them for eBay and other things. I have a Poshmark account and I use the boxes for Poshmark. The only time I use them for my other sales is if they come in and I'm reusing them. But I haven't had an issue with them coming back to me, or, you know, when I drop them off at the post office, they don't say anything. So how about you,
Yeah,
Kat?
I cannot say the same. I will just leave it at that. But there is nothing on Poshmark. I don't know if I have one where I can grab it. There is nothing on that packaging that says exclusively for Poshmark. They say Ground Advantage, period, end of story. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. So, it sounds like they're getting like the ones that we're getting for Posh, and that post office is being nice and putting them out for people to use, which would be beautiful if all post offices did that. But yes, you can, they're probably the same boxes is my response. Cause there's a company that is doing it. Yeah. And that's the thing with the Posh boxes. Like once they're getting out here, let's say everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Their boxes are going to get reused, right? Like, so there's no way to know if that's the first time that box has been used. Is it the second time? And that's just like Amazon boxes. Like we're reusing Amazon boxes. Nobody's saying it's only for Amazon. So the answer to it is yes. And again, there's nowhere on there that says it's only for Poshmark, and I'll just leave it at that. They should have them for like a small, like if they had them like half the cost of everybody else, everybody would buy from them and they would get something. And they would use them for Ground Advantage, you know, so they'd get their business.
So is Laura is she finding these boxes at the post office?
The post office is giving them to her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying, I wonder if these other post offices have the ability to do that, and they can. Because and Trish was here when this happened, and I have the picture in my Whatnot. I had a buyer, they bought one Victorian trading card from me on a Whatnot. We sent it in like not like hard, but a, you know, firm cardboard mailer, which is what we always use. And they charged her $4 in shipping and said that items had to be at least 3/4 of an inch thick to be shipped with tracking for Priority or Ground Advantage. That is BS. I have shipped so many license plates via Priority and Ground Advantage. And so this post office just made up their own rule. They wrote it on her envelope and charged her. Wow. And Trish said she sees that a lot, where these post offices are like wild westing it and making up their own rules. So it should be uniform, right? But how do you fight that? Like, I mean, I could be over $4 though. And how much time would that take? You know, but they wrote it. It had to be 3/4 of an inch. What about the Priority flat rate envelopes? Those aren't 3/4 of an inch thick, and you're sending that with tracking. Like I would have been, if that had come to me like that, I would have raised hell. But I gave her something for free to cover it because it was a $3 card. She paid $4 in shipping. I didn't want her to have to pay $4 more for one card. So, I mean, I compensated her, but like, it's ridiculous that they do that, you know, and just like them refusing the boxes, saying, oh, that's not a Poshmark box. No, it doesn't say Poshmark on the box, and they don't know if they reused it. So those post offices are making their own rules, and they're being not nice to be not nice. You know, I think they're probably not wanting all those packages.
So Poshmark isn't monitoring your how many sales you make, ballpark?
No. Could you imagine if they tried to do that? And it's a different company. You don't even order them through Posh. You email that other company.
Right.
So it's not even, I mean, Yeah, and I don't know, like some of them I got them like I'm never going to use these things, you know, because I ordered like one of each to kind of see, you know, what the packaging was, and some of them I'm not ever, you know, going to use. So, but no, I don't think. All right, Patty said she only offers free shipping on Etsy, but she charges more for the item. I do buyer paid returns on Etsy, so then I wouldn't be out the money like I would on eBay. So I have started doing the free shipping on jewelry on Etsy as well, but I have buyer paid returns on Etsy because there's no benefit to me on Etsy like there is on eBay. On eBay, I get 10% off all my fees for doing free 30-day returns, but on Etsy, I get nothing, so I make the buyers pay on there. All right. Did I get this where I could copy it? Okay. I'm going to throw this up here. We can all, I had it this way. Hold on for my thing, but I think this way, yes, it doesn't hide Amy. I wanted to put this up here and we can go around. I don't know if you guys are using Photo Room, but then I'm going to drop a link and tell you a way better fix than what you're saying. So Mary said to get around, if you don't know, Photo Room out of the blue imposed these monthly limits that any regular seller is going to hit and go over. And if you go over, they want an outrageous amount monthly. If you don't know that. So she's saying before you get to the limit to batch process, and instead of downloading, take screenshots of each photo and use those. So Geno, if you use Photo Room, you can speak on this, and if not, just pass it.
I'm going to have to pass it. Never heard of it till just now.
Yeah, I have to pass too because I don't use it.
I don't use it either.
I used it religiously for years. When they did that, I stopped. So here's my link to Pixel Cut, which does not have limits, and it is cheaper than Photo Room. It is the only one I found. It took me 2 days of searching to find one that did the same thing. I will tell you, we could take 500 photos in a day, and the amount of time that would take for me and the amount of money I would have to pay my employee to do that is astronomical. So for me, that is not something that and why should you have to do that? Like for the same amount we were paying, and this is in the middle of an annual subscription for a lot of us where it was unlimited, they changed it and put limits. So they really ticked me off. So Pixel Cut does the same thing. It's cheaper and it doesn't have limits. So there is your fix. I wanted to make a video on it because like it, and I saw on Reddit, like people are ticked, and I don't like, I'm one of them. I paid for an annual subscription of unlimited. And then in the middle of that year you went, and my employee comes one day and she's like, I can't download any more photos. And I upgraded to the next one. She hit the limit the next day. Like it was where I'd be paying like $300 to $400 a month to them to edit photos. And I'm like, I'm finding something. And the only one I found was Pixel Cut. And it does batch photos. It's not as fancy as Photo Room, but I don't need as fancy, not to the tune of $400 a month. You know, it's not worth it. But I would go there and get it. And they have free. I don't think batch is free, but I want to say it was like $40 for the year. It was less than Photo Room. All right. Titchy Farm Treasure said, I had a new item returned opened without the box this week. I was not given the opportunity to do a 50% refund. eBay automatically gave a partial refund, everything except shipping. Is this a new thing?
I can't believe eBay didn't give you a chance to give what you thought you should give back. And, you know, you could fight it back and forth. I would call eBay. That's what I would do.
Yeah, for sure. They gave an automatic partial.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
That doesn't sound right either. It sounds like the buyer went to eBay and resolved something that you weren't involved with, which I've never seen that before. So I couldn't say if that's a new thing. It's something I've never heard of.
Yeah, they usually let you know that there's been a return, and they give you a certain amount of time to respond. And then if
Yeah.
you don't respond, that's what they do. So I'm with Geno. I would give him a call.
Well, I'm with you too.
So the new thing is that, and like if you just hit process the refund, that's what it does. Instead of doing that, right below it, you hit report buyer, and that allows you to report them, and then eBay will step in, and that's where you can get the percent. I just had this with a $1,200 Chanel suit. And I ended up, eBay had to call me and we had to discuss it like a person, and come up with an amount that I felt was fair, because the person obviously rented my Chanel suit for 3 weeks, and then sent it back, and I needed to bring it to the cleaners because I'm not going to not get a Chanel suit worth it's a $1,500 suit. I accepted offer for $1,200. But so I ended up getting, my fees were $300 on it, and then I got $300 additional back. So I got $600 back. And they were very, very reasonable, but you cannot hit that like refund button. You have to click report the buyer. So it's not where you can put the 50% like it used to be. You have to report the buyer now is how you have to do. So they're saying because you have to order the shipping supplies in the Poshmark app that they are monitoring your sales is what everybody's saying. Yeah, eBay, I feel like by now the eBay background removal should be better than it was when it first started. It was absolutely horrible. But I would assume it's probably better. But I start all my listings on List Perfectly, and List Perfectly actually gives free photo room. I wonder if they're doing that to LP. I should ask them. I know people there. I'm wondering if that's going to do it. Geno said he has a question. Geno, what's your question?
Oh, now I have 2 questions, but
Amy put her question in the chat. Why didn't you do that?
Yeah,
I did. I have a question. And mine was in before her.
Well, I asked you first.
Okay. I brought packages to a post office that's like 5 miles away from my house instead of my normal post office, and they keep charging me $2 out of zone fee. Have you people heard of that? Because I never heard of that before.
What they do?
They charge me an extra $2 or $3, all according to what zone it is, and then eBay charges me the difference. I never heard of it, and now all of a sudden they're doing it. And nobody
I've never
else.
heard of that. So you're saying like you print your label at home and then you take it to a different like zip code or something to mail it?
Yeah, if I'm out, at a different Goodwill a little bit further away, I'll drop it off at their
doing
post
that.
office. And then it comes up out of zone, and eBay says you owe us an extra $2.
That's crazy. I've never heard of that. I've taken my stuff. I don't know if is that just USPS or is that UPS?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, is that just me? Maybe.
Probably just you.
Yeah. But I thought that was very annoying. It's only like 3-4 miles down the road, but it's a different zip code. But so what?
Yeah, but that's just USPS.
Yeah, it's just USPS.
Okay, yeah, because I've done it with the UPS. I've taken them all over the place and dropped them off.
Yeah, well, no one's happened but me. Okay.
I think it depends on how happy the workers are at the post office.
Yeah, I would think so too, because it must be something they can do, but no other post office does it.
Yeah,
There's
that's
only
weird.
like 2 or 3 around here that do that.
Stay in your zone, Geno. That's their advice.
I don't like. I want to be out of zone. I'm a trendsetter.
Oh my gosh. We did that one.
Oh, I did have another question.
Okay, go ahead, Geno.
Okay, really fast. It's more of a suggestion. You guys were talking about the Photoshop. You know the paint program that comes with everybody's laptop or anybody's computer? That's really getting advanced now. I use that to list everything I do.
Can you batch edit?
No, I can't batch edit, but I can.
See, that's what we
But
want.
it
We
takes out
want
the background. You can color change it. You can shrink it. You can size it. I just think it's great. And I list 7-8 items a day sometimes and goes fast. I just figured if one of the people watching wanted to do a cheaper way, use your paint program. And it's easy to learn. It's made to be easy. And
You're not on a Mac though, right?
no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't buy a Mac.
I wouldn't buy a Mac either. At least
Oh,
I
I'm
have
not-
another
I'm a
person
Mac.
with me this week. Last week it was all Apple people, and I'm like, I feel really
Yeah,
alone.
I'm all Apple people. I'm an Apple people.
All right.
And an Android phone. I don't use Apple iPhones either.
Yeah, I'm Android too. Alice wants to know, what platform do you think is best to sell fabric and yarn, eBay or Etsy?
I did Etsy for a short time. I would assume Etsy, but don't go by me. These two women, they know better.
I don't sell on Etsy, so I really can't answer it, but I have sold fabric and yarn on eBay. I sold a big piece of fabric, and I'm actually about to list another big piece of fabric, and I've done pretty good with like lots of yards of fabric on eBay.
I have sold fabric and yarn on Poshmark, actually. I don't use Etsy. Can you cross post? Maybe do it on both and experiment to see which is best.
It's a good idea.
That's what I would
Yeah,
try.
so I want the whole panel to guess where I sold yarn this week. Guess where it was at?
Etsy.
Outside your house at a garage sale.
Geno, I do yard sales. It was Mercari.
Oh,
Oh,
So, with that said, and everybody said, why not put it on all of them? Like, why pick? So my items, all of them are on eBay. About 25% are on Etsy because I put $50 and higher items on Etsy. All of them are on Poshmark if they are under 5 pounds, which now I wanted to mention this too. Poshmark allows up to 15 pounds now, and it's only $10 extra. Since they went to Ground Advantage, their heavier item fee is way lower. We had to use it today for a printer. I sold a printer on Poshmark. And then they are also all on Mercari if they're under $200 after Mercari jacked me out of $500. So why not put them on all of them? That is my question. And with LP, it takes like 15 seconds per item per platform. It really is not a lot of time. So I would put them on all. And with that said, though, I sold fabric on eBay this week. I sold yarn on Mercari this week. I sold $50 worth of fabric on Poshmark this week. So they have literally been all over the place. I was surprised because the fabric that sold on Posh had been listed 2 years, but it sold for $50 for fabric I picked up at the thrift store, non-branded on Posh. It had fleur-de-lis. It was like share with fleur-de-lis. And I was like, oh, fleur-de-lis sell. I'm going to pick it up. Took a while, but yeah. Mary Jo is right. It does have to be vintage or handmade for Etsy. So you would have to have vintage fabric. So it would have to be over 20 years old in order to put it on Etsy. Yeah, I think both. I'm going to say it needs to be on both and more if you're doing it. Does anybody know any good places in Daytona or have a favorite market to go to or thrift store in Daytona area?
I don't go to Daytona at all. Not even for the 500.
Yeah, I'm in Ohio. I've never thrifted in Daytona.
pass, Kat.
I live on the west coast of Florida, and I tend to stay on the west coast of Florida. Daytona is East Coast. I don't go to the East Coast very often. It's not far; it's 2 hours from me, straight across the state to Daytona. So there's a big flea market there. It was okay. I went to Bike Week last year in Daytona, and we went to the flea market while we were there. So there's a big flea market off of I-95. When I go on this coast, I just search for thrift stores near me, and I look for like the little mom and pop ones, and like church thrift stores is what I would recommend to anybody in any new place.
Yeah, and they're all usually rated now. So I I
You
do
can
the
read,
same exact
people will say
thing.
prices are
Yep.
too high, or
Exactly.
people will tell you.
Yep. You can pick the ones that are like 4 stars and above, or whatever, people are saying are the best.
Yeah, and then I'll just do it from one thrift store to the next thrift store near me and look at like the closest ones and find the ones with good reviews. So that's worked well for me. Karen's asking, do I not utilize the List Perfectly background remover? I know you can change colors. I know it is included in the cost, but you cannot edit the photos. So that is why we choose to do it we do it in Pixel Cut now. So on LP, when you remove the background, what you get is what you get, which works about 80% of the time. But the other 20%, when it removes the ruler that I don't want removed, because I'm trying to show how something is, you don't have that option in LP. So that is why we do it outside of LP. I do change the color on the backgrounds and remove it with LP, like, because my employee does it all white. If I'm like, oh man, this would look so much better on black, I'll use LP's background remover to switch it to black or blue or whatever color. But yes, it is included free, but I don't know if it's the way we hold it or the ruler we use. It likes to take away my tape measure. And so that's the main reason I don't use it. Look, we got to Amy's question. How do you feel about people using AI to source items and people using it to price items? So I don't even know, like, okay, since you're on the panel and you can tell me this, so how, like, give me an example of how people are using AI to source, because I don't even know.
So there's apps now out there that are specifically for people like thrifting. So you can like take a picture and it tells you.
Like the Meta glasses that supposedly tell you how much everything's worth.
Exactly. Yeah, you could take a picture of a shelf or of an item and it'll like give you information on it. This has been a conversation recently with some friends about, people just in the shops and stuff, just taking pictures after pictures after pictures and seeing what's, what AI is giving them. I don't know if anybody has seen it. I've personally seen it already. So I'm like, that's interesting. I'll shop around you and grab things on this side and this side of you while you're taking.
Amy, you're saying that you take a picture of the shelf and AI tells you what's valuable?
It'll tell you the value of things.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But is it even accurate? I'm sure it's going to get better and better and better. It's not.
That would be my money.
Yeah.
Not yet.
What do you think?
It's not going to be pulling from eBay solds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wonder. Like, where is it pulling it from? Because I found a bronze.
It's pulling it from Google.
Yeah, it pulls it from Google, but like, what's feeding? I mean, everything's fed into Google. So what are the values from?
It's pulling in listed stuff that somebody can list something for $1,000 that's worth $100.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think there's going to be positive and negative too on the flip side, because I found a piece at like a vendor mall that was a bronze, and I literally took a picture of it to identify it, and it came up with the AI information right off of Google Lens, and it said value $25, and I flipped the thing around and it said $25 on the price tag. I was like, are they using AI now to price these things? If that's the case, then okay, because it was worth like $250, and I'm like, right.
And I think that's going to happen a lot.
Yeah,
that's just like to me, that's just like taking eBay's suggested price.
Yeah, but I wonder how many people are going to see this as a tool to get into reselling or make.
I think they're going to start and they're going to get screwed over and they're going to be mad. Yeah. That's what I think. I think you have to use your own brain for some things, and that would be one of them, in my opinion. Like I said, that's like Mercari. Everything I list, it's like, this is going to be a very slow sale. I'm like, okay, you say what you want, Mercari, and Poshmark will advise you what to price stuff as well. And most of the time mine is over that. Yeah. I think like I use AI for descriptions. I build my listings with AI Express Lister, but I also read them. Yeah. I also revamp the title. I add better keywords, and List Perfectly has a function that'll help you price it. It'll pull it up just like you're saying. I do not use that.
Yeah.
Just because I think that, again, oh, Mark, I forgot you. I'll get you. I promise. you have to use your brain, like, to price things. And I will admit, like me, when I'm pricing on auctions, a lot of times I right click in Google Lens and I've gotten screwed and paid too much for stuff because I'm trying to do it fast because the auction's ending.
Yeah.
And then I get it and I'm like, oh, like, but that's on me. And I think that's what's going to happen to those people that are trying not to use their brain and they're using a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
Okay, Geno, we haven't let you talk. You talk.
No, I don't want to. But with the AI, I don't use it. But you know what I hate? Like when you get it, someone, they used AI in their eBay description, not the title, in the description. When I sell, just say a vase, I put floral vase, 8 inches tall, 4 inches wide, the price, and a few other things. AI, if you ask AI, would you help me with this? The pretty blue vase
Blah, 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 blah.
with the sun-drenched terrace would make a great. No.
Liz perfectly has a professional one that is bullet pointed, just like you said you make yours. That's what I like. I did the funny one for a while, and that is friggin' hilarious. And then I'm like, do I really want this like smart ass description on my item? And so after like a month or two, I took it off. Now we do professional. It's bullet pointed, made in XYZ, this height, made of this fabric, and that's it.
I feel like we're just at the beginning of all of this, so we can tell now.
Like I would love to use. Like, I bet mine, most of mine, you wouldn't know. But I would love to be able to use AI, like to help create content that actually matches my brand. And there's a way, I just don't have the time to learn how to do it. I think AI could be like a spectacular help. Like if AI, like when I hear this, I'm thinking like, what if I tell AI I want J. King necklaces and it can just go scour the internet for auctions or listings of cheap J. King necklaces and tell me that? Not I'm wearing glasses and like I would love if it really worked, but and at some point, I bet it will. Like at some point, I bet somebody will tailor that down to where it's sold prices and make it smarter. But right now, I feel like the intelligence is not that intelligent, just like this recommended prices, like I think it can be a benefit if you learn how to use it right.
Yeah.
I think. Tiffany, anything else?
I was just thinking about, I would love to be able to point my camera at a massive table of things at the swap meet and have it say, hey, what about this? What about this? But, you can draw my attention to the things, but in the end, I have to say, yeah, I agree and do my own research. So I think it would be a good tool for somebody just starting out, if they wanted to get into reselling, it could give them some pointers as to, hey, maybe look at that and maybe look at this. But, when push comes to shove, you have to, like Amy was saying, you got to do your own research and, you can't expect it
like
to
use your own brain.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Well, I think too that there's no replacement for just true knowledge. I mean, I found that bronze on the shelf and they had it marked cast iron, and I flipped it around. I'm like, no, this is bronze. But like, not everybody.
It's a tool, like everything else. It's a tool.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing is like you don't want to get too overconfident in AI.
Yeah.
Like where you're not using your own brain, like Amy said, for something that's right in front of her.
Yeah.
You have to be careful because that information the information that AI is giving you, it's giving thousands of other people the same information. So just bear that in mind.
So I have to, Shy, I don't know if you're still in chat, but I have to say, so Shy said he was drunk in Daytona Beach in 94. I think I probably was too. I graduated in 96 and I grew up in Jackson. I grew up on the East Coast of Florida and we used to go right down to Daytona when we skipped school. And so I was probably there too. Let's see. Let me do Mark's super chat before I forget it. Mark is here. At exactly 9:11. That's his time. And Mark always gets Rod. So here is Rod.
Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time,
Now I'm allowed to do it because he's not here. I talk to Rod. I talk to Rod pretty frequently. Speaking of Shy, besides me, what other YouTube channels do you recommend that you like to learn about items to resell that actually sell items and don't provide just a bunch of entertainment BS? Don't say who you don't like. Just say who you like.
That Genos Finds is pretty good.
It is.
I watch a couple of ones. Harry Tornado I watch. I think he's enjoyable, but he's entertaining, and I can't watch it just for the knowledge. I have to be entertained. That's why I make my videos to entertain.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do this shameless plug too. When I started my channel 6 years ago, I started it because I was learning and I wanted to see other channels out there with people sharing information as they were learning. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not finding that. I found George, the Antique Nomad, and I was like, my gosh, I want to know.
He's a walking encyclopedia, that man.
Exactly. But I'm like, how did he get that way, right? So I'm like, maybe I can
went
be
to school. He's a certified antiques appraiser.
I know.
He's a walking encyclopedia.
But study, learn, like, you know.
Yeah.
And so as I was researching and learning things, I just was like sharing them. And that's what my content is about, is like sharing what I'm finding and what I'm learning about it and what the value is and where I'm going to sell it and for how much I'm going to sell it. And the only thing I would caution about making a suggestion for other channels is there's a lot of channels out there that are big. A lot of people are watching them. They have a following. So a lot of the things, like, you have to learn the math around selling and understand, like, you're not going to pick up something and sell it immediately for $20, $30. Like they do, exactly, because they have that following and somebody's like wanting to buy from that celebrity who's got that following. You really need to learn, you know. So I love watching smaller channels with people who are just being, you know, out there and putting themselves out there and teaching as they pick it up. And I learned so many things to keep my eye out for because they found it and they got excited about it. And that's entertaining to me, that just, you know, a regular person with a small channel is like, hey, look at this thing. It's worth money, guys. It sticks with you then. So
yeah, Amy's absolutely right. Just when she's saying just because a YouTuber is selling something and it's going high, I'll give the example of Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady. Mm-hmm. I started out watching Jocelyn and Ryan and Ali, Rally Roots. Those two channels were my favorite before I even got on YouTube. But both of those, they're selling things for crazy prices, and don't think you can go buy the same thing and get those prices, because the people want to buy because it's those people selling. Yeah. And Amy also brought up another great point, which is if you want to learn about something, you have to do your own research. You know, look online, look in research books. I have research books on Weller, on Fenton, on all these brands that I love. And that's really the only way to learn about specific brands. And it's important that you learn about something you enjoy and you like, because if you don't, it's going to be work and it's not going to be fun. So, YouTube channels are intrinsically entertaining. Like George is an exception. He's entertaining and extremely knowledgeable.
You are going to school. You're going to school. If you were watching George, you are going to school. Yeah. And George is so funny because like George will like talk about me like I'm so, and I'm like, I'm not nothing compared to George. Like I'm good at like the selling aspect, and like I'm one of those, I can sell, ice to, I'm not supposed to say the word anymore. We'll say Inuits. I just bought something that has a sticker on it that says the word, and I'm going to put it in my title and people are going to yell at me, but it's on the sticker. Anyway, I would say George is like extremely knowledgeable. I don't know that man holds all that knowledge in his head. I really don't. I'm good at like the selling aspect of it. Like I'm like that part of it. Jocelyn knows her glass. She knows her stuff backwards and forwards. Just again, don't watch what she's selling stuff for, but listen, she knows her stuff. Learn about the glass from her, learn about the items, learn about the makers. She is amazing at that. And I didn't know about Jocelyn until Jocelyn found me, which is funny. When Jocelyn and I became friends 4 years ago, I had never heard of her. And she found her way into this podcast when I had like 1,000 subscribers and came in the chat, and her and I have been friends since. I was just hanging out with her earlier, less than a month ago. So George is one. Somebody mentioned Sam Jolie Flip. She is a good friend of mine. She is also extremely knowledgeable. She is down in South Florida. She does all thrifting videos and finds amazing high-end stuff because she's in the Miami Palm Beach area. So Sam is good. J-Ride is really good about math and numbers and sell-through rate, which I think is something that is important for all resellers to learn that I didn't impress in the beginning of my channel and wish I had. And I didn't impress it in my own brain and my own business either, you know, because I hadn't learned that. Scott, guys, nobody has said Scott, Cha-Ching King. He is the best teacher there is. If you want how to do photos, if you want how to do something, he was a school superintendent for years, and he is a natural teacher, and he is absolutely amazing, especially if you're just starting out. I used to do the how-to videos. I haven't made any in a long time. But Scott is amazing. I say this every time, and I will not lie. I have not watched a reseller video in probably over 3 years, other than my own when I'm editing them. I do not have time. But the nice thing is I do my research videos, so I'm researching and learning while I'm teaching you. And a lot of you in my comments teach me stuff too, which is nice because I read and respond to all my comments. But the bad thing is when I watch thrifting videos, it makes me want to go thrifting, and like I don't go thrifting. So I had to halt that. Like I'm like, oh, I need to find that. I'm gonna find that thing. Yeah. So yeah.
Can I add one thing?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The best way to learn about what sells is do what Kat does. So
do your own research.
Yeah, anytime that I find something and I do that eBay sold comp, I'm going past that. I'm like, okay, so that sells for that, but what in this category should I be looking for? So then, you know, you filter and do the solds and then sort by highest and start
see where the money's at.
See where the money's at, because then when you're out and you spot that thing, you're like, oh, there it is. I remember because I saw it on eBay and I know it sells well.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing, is just like constantly learning. And I also want to say, like, I know a lot of people in the chat only watch my Tuesday night podcast, and I am fine with that. Because you're going to find, like all of us are telling you, but you're going to find who you mesh with and who you like watching. Yeah. And who I like watching or did like watching might not be who you like watching. There are some people, and I will not name names, that I cannot stand the voice and I cannot watch 20 seconds of one of their videos, but other people love them. And I'm not going to tell you because you decide if you want to hear the voice or not. And some people hate mine. I get comments about my voice all the time. People do not like it, and that's fine, you know, because they might love Tiffany but hate me, and vice versa. Like, it's okay. Like, find who you like learning from and who you like watching. You know, you can take advice from us, but ultimately that's almost like the reselling thing, you know, right? Like, you got to find what works for you, not try and copy somebody exactly. Because if you do, pick a little from each person that fits into what you like and what you want to do. And I think all of us ultimately, and it's, even with videos, right? We're going to, like, when you start making videos, you're starting making videos by who you were watching that like inspired you to make videos. And then eventually you evolve into your own, you know, your own thing and your own style. But I guarantee you almost every channel, if you go to the beginning, you could guess what big YouTuber they watched and who they liked because of how they were doing their videos. I think. And I'm like,
Part of the
I'll see
shoes.
people and I'm like, they're watching Kevin. Like, you know, like, and oh, Kevin, Commonwealth Picker. I didn't even say him. Sorry, Kevin. I used to love watching Kevin. And I watched a lot of Kevin. Josh Harry Tornado helped me out a ton when I was a new channel. He let me go on his channel. He wasn't as big as he is now, and I was like nothing. That's how I met Joey Bada Bing. It's how I met a lot of people that I'm still friends with. Josh used to do a live, and he would let new content creators just randomly come on and talk to people and like advertise yourself, which was really cool, I thought, you know. And I was at work as a nurse, and I'd run outside. I'm like, oh, it's almost my turn. I got to go outside. And I'd be in my scrubs at the hospital talking. So you got to find who works for you, though. This is a fun question. What is your opinion about your hand or fingers being in your photos?
What is my opinion?
Yeah, like, are you okay with it?
Well, that Palmolive girl, remember her on TV? I think they're just as pretty. I have no opinion. Well, I am getting older. There's some wrinkles, but hey, it's fine. I don't really know how to answer that. I'm happy with it.
I mean, there's things, if I'm holding like a measuring tape or something, or have to press something down, or, you know, show it at a weird angle that's not looking right, sitting on the flat surface, I'll do that. I just make sure that things are clean.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I tried to
One
make my
long
first photo without hands, just standalone on a white background, because that's what Google likes. But sometimes, you know, especially if it's a white or glass, clear glass, it really helps to show detail if your hand's behind it. So, you know, I'll do my second or third with the detail holding the item. I've tried using black, but Google doesn't like black, and I don't like black. And I find when I use a black background, for some reason, things just sit. They don't sell very well. So I've tried to convert everything to white background. And yeah, I'm okay with my hands as long as they're clean and my nails aren't haggard. Just make sure, you know, your hands look nice, I suppose.
I prefer not to see them at all, if possible. And like when I do my store reviews, I will tell people, and I especially feel with jewelry, they should not be displayed on your hand. I think ring holders are made for a reason. And that honestly, like, would almost turn me off from buying a ring from somebody, depending on how their hands look. Just being completely honest. And ours get in it because we do a lot of little pendants. So you'll see like the outside of somebody's fingers, you know, holding a pendant. I just got the jewelry microscope, so hopefully that'll lessen some of that. We have quite a bit of hands in our listings. I had an employee, I do not have her anymore, who had a tattoo right here with a curse word. I did not catch it. And one of you was looking at my store and said, "Hey, Kat, you might want to take this picture out." And I said, "Holy." And if you know me in person, I have a sailor's mouth off of camera, but I wouldn't put a curse word in, like, and it was an expensive item, and she was holding it like this, and you could read what this says right here. And so then I started watching, and it was there, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, if they're like definitely clean, if you're going to do it, I like, my nails look like crap right now because I decided to I'm going to try my own little press-on nails instead of spending tons of money on them. So I'm letting them like grow out, and then I'm going to try fake cheap nails. It might not work, and I might end up going back to spending tons of money on it, but we'll see. So mine look like crap right now because they were destroyed by fake nails. So yeah. What tips do you have on listing fabric?
First, can I go back to that last question? I thought it meant,
Sure.
how would you like showing your hands and fingers in your video? In photos, Absolutely not. Don't show them.
Yeah, for
Unless you
items.
have to, yes. If you have to, I had one item that kept falling down, and after about 20 takes, I just put my hands in there.
Some people
90
take them and they look cute and they show them, and I am not opposed to that. I've seen some that look cute, and it shows you the size good, you know, like brooches in hands. Like then
Yeah,
you get an idea of it.
Yep.
Get those fake hands.
They do have the fake hands, and like my employee is an outside farm girl, so her hands are not the prettiest hands. Mine right now are not either. So yeah, as long as they're clean, if they have to be in there, or if you get your nails done and your hands are nice and pretty, then do it, but not in the first photo. I'm going to reiterate that. Not in the first photo. So do you have any tips for listing fabric, Geno?
No, that's why I covered it up with that.
He was trying to detract from that.
Yeah, it was.
So I have a clothesline that I hang a white sheet over and hang the fabric over so that you can see the entire pattern. So as long as you're capturing the entire pattern, I don't tend to like show the whole thing. Like I've got a piece of fabric that I'm about to list that I have 12 yards. I can't show 12 yards. I'm not going to roll it out somewhere. So I'm going to fold it up. Actually, it's in a roll. I'm probably going to flip it in half and make sure that the 12 yards is in the title and that they can see the entire pattern, probably on the main picture. That's how I've done it in the past.
That's excellent advice. I would say, if you have a roll, take a picture of the whole roll, and then make sure you take a close-up picture of the pattern, as big as the pattern is. And also make sure that the pictures you're taking accurately show the colors. Because the last thing you want is someone to get your fabric and it's a completely different color than it showed in the pictures. So
we noticed so many, oh my gosh, going through inventory, because we have the clothes in front of us and we're looking in the catalog and we're like, is that? Mm-hmm. And I mean, in the photos, it looked horrible. And it's like this beautiful gown. And I'm like, so those got put for relisting, I will tell you. I'm like, I'm ending that now. I'm like, that's horrible. And though we're talking 3-4-year-old items, I'm like, no wonder it hasn't sold in 4 years. It looks like crap.
You have to be careful too with the retouch on eBay, because it may brighten colors, but it also will change them. Like if you're doing a retouch, you could be your camera's probably going to capture it the best as is.
Yeah, definitely. So like Cece's saying, include the yardage, the width, take a photo of the selvage. Like, so if there is printed information on the edge, you definitely want to include that. If it's like a yard, we will lay it out and take a picture of the 1 yard of fabric. But if it's more than that, we'll just show the pattern. And like that fleur-de-lis fabric that just sold, there were 2 pictures. There was one of like all of it, and then there was one close up, and that was it. And I think I'm going to probably do a video. I learned a lot while Trish was here and we were doing inventory. She taught me how to download like my eBay quality listings report. And most of it I was good, except for one thing, we weren't taking enough photos. So eBay will determine which listings are popping up top by if you have like, they average the number of photos on the sold items for that category. So let's say t-shirts, the average is 8 photos and you have 5. Somebody that has 8 or 9 is going to come up before you.
Oh, wow.
And she said they don't even know if it's duplicate. So she said for some of hers, she'll just put the same picture twice just to get to the 8 photo, just as an example, because the AI doesn't like, it's just looking at, are there 8 photos in this listing? Wow. So like we're starting to do more and I'm hoping that'll show a difference. But that was the only thing on my listings on every category. And it shows you your top 10 categories that you sell in, was I didn't have enough photos. And what sucks is it would be like they wanted 7 and I had like 6.5. I'm going to have to show you, Cheryl. It was really interesting. I've been on eBay since 99 and I never knew about this thing. And Trish is like, have you looked at this? And I'm like, at what? like, what is this thing? So it was really cool. I'll have to figure out how to get back to it, but I think I'll do a video on it. Just like I was telling you guys about the calculated or flat rate shipping, the flat or free to get into Google, that we're not getting into Google if we're using calculated. So maybe next week I'll try and do a video on that, because I don't even remember how to get to it as of right now. So mine, I just show a close up, the whole roll, and then if there's any printed, but now I'm going to take 5 extra pictures of it just cause. LJ said eBay international sale to China. Buyer wanted to use a third-party freight forwarder rather than eBay's international ship program. Should I use the third party or stick with eBay international? What would you do?
Here we go again. I think you would stick with eBay International. I don't trust anybody when they start getting out of the norm. I'd want to know why. And he's going to say it's to save money, but it might be to rip me off. So I'm just going to stick with eBay.
Yeah, I agree. I trust eBay International. I have had orders from Japan and China that are going through like Oregon or something. Huh?
There's a Seattle hub that I have people order from.
Seattle, that's it. Yeah. So I mean, and you can't really
in a while, but
you can't really change. I mean, as long as it's insured, if it needs to be insured, you can't really do anything about that. I shipped something to China actually, and they're supposed to, at those hubs, those third-party hubs, they're supposed to like inspect the package before it gets shipped.
I've had them inspect it, and they found like one little thing wrong, and they sent it back.
Yeah. Well, mine was not inspected apparently, but something was broken on it when it got to China, and she was like, "It's broken," and she sent photos, and I'm like, I mean, what do you want to do? You didn't go through eBay, like you didn't do it the right way. So, and eBay sided with me. They're like, yeah, she didn't go through international. So we're not going to do anything for her. It's, I ended up getting her
because she had it shipped to Seattle or wherever. eBay will back you. I've had that same situation.
Yep, they
like
did.
Mine ended up in like, I don't even remember where it was. And I'm like, we'll send it back then.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nope, send it back. And they of course didn't want to pay the money to send it back. And
right.
Yeah,
she didn't. But you know what? That's a good point though. If you know that eBay's going to side with you, maybe go ahead. I would check out the buyer, like check and see that they're
you
not
have to prove that it got shipped twice
feedback.
Is what eBay wants to see. Like it got to where, like if you ship it to Seattle, it got there safe. It's not your problem if it gets from Seattle to China.
Exactly. So you might be all right. I would just check out the seller. Like I would be really wary if they had like 0 feedback or something. But if it's somebody who's buying a lot and they're getting it shipped through, eBay will side with you if something happens. That's been my experience.
I'm always going to use eBay International just because I'm responsible for getting it to Oregon or Seattle or wherever it's going. Yeah. And then from there on, I don't have to worry about it. As soon as it gets there, I get my money, whether it's broken or not, whether it's going on a slow boat or a plane, as long as I've done my part and got it to its hub in this country, then I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm always gonna go with eBay Global. Is it international shipping now? Is it global?
Yeah, it's ISP international shipping program now. Yeah. I'm going to agree. I'm going to do that. But I want to tell you guys, I noticed because before, if you had on international shipping program, there was no way to turn it off. But now when I'm listing, there's an option that you can offer other international shipping. That has just come up in the last week or two on listings. So if you did want to do that, what I got upset about is, remember eBay said they were gonna like group people's stuff together to save them on shipping. If like an international buyer bought 2 things from you, they would put them together. They're not doing that. Like I had somebody from Canada buy 2 items. eBay didn't put them together. And I always tell people I'll combine shipping, but when they were asking me, I didn't know they were international. And when I went and looked, they had both shipped separately through the international shipping program. And I apologized to them and said, hey, I couldn't combine them, but eBay said they were going to let us combine them forever, and they did not. I haven't seen that anyways. Oh, did you hear your ears burning? Scott's on with us next week, guys. Scott will be on the panel next week with us. The Cha-Ching King, we were just talking about him. Definitely give him a follow. And yeah, I'm going to agree. International shipping just has so much protection built in. That's definitely my go-to. Yeah. Since he's being nice and I can scroll, I'm going to give him my octopus. Here you go. There was something I had my picture on the other day, and Trisha's like, you need to update that picture. I'm like, okay. There's probably a lot of things I need to update. Tammy wants to know, is it better to end and relist before eBay does when an item doesn't sell? So if you're ending and selling similar or ending and relisting, how do you do it, or do you not do it?
I would end and sell similar. They keep telling me that means something. But then I kind of checked one day, and it doesn't keep the same the address. It does change the address when you sell
similar. If you sell similar, if you relist, it will keep it.
It will keep it. So I would say sell similar. I do it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I let things go for a long time before I go back. I don't have 9,000 items though. I have like 600 to 800 items, and I like to turn them over. So the ones that are sitting, they'll sit until I get back to my inventory, my shelf, and I'll go, okay, that needs to come down. That needs to be relisted. That needs to be relisted. I don't really bank on them like, you know, the days ending and me relisting in a certain time frame. I just when I can get to it, it's kind of start at the end. Those ones that have been listed for like 300 days, and I'm like, oh, that's probably not, you know, ever going to sell if I don't do anything or take it down. So that's just how I do it.
I don't tend to do that. I just let it sit. If I'm going to do anything, I'll make sure my photos are good and my title's good. I might make it $1 more or $1 less, or just sort of check market value and make sure I'm still, you know, within a good range. But as far as ending and relisting, I would rather list something new, you know, take the time to list something else rather than, you know, end my old things. But I think, you know, as I think Geno and Amy said, if you're going to do it, you want to sell similar rather than relist, because it bumps you up to the top of the page for that category of item. It gives you a renewed chance to be seen. So yeah,
you
do
have
it.
To change something too. I mean, I will retool the heading. Yeah. I will flip the pictures. I'll change it up so that it looks like a new listing when I do it. But more often than not, I'm just going to take it down. If it's been sitting there for that long and I've been lowering the price along the way, I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to deal with it anymore. Just put it in the donate box.
Yeah, and I was doing end and sell similar pretty religiously for most of last year. And how I would determine it is I would go to items ending that day, and I would do exactly what you're saying. So it didn't have like a double count. It was already going to end that day on eBay. I would end it, and then I would sell similar. But I agree with you need to change the title, or maybe change what your front photo is. Like if I have a close-up of like a shirt design, I might show the whole shirt instead and reorder the photos. But I have quit just because I simply do not have the time. It used to be my daily practice. It is not anymore, because I really like the idea of being able to go into eBay and put a sale on by how old that item is. And if I'm ending and selling similar, I can't do that. So we were having to scroll through thousands of listings, and we put it in the SKU. That was the only way we knew when it was truly first listed, but we would have to scroll through and look at the dates on the SKU to add those items to a sale. But if I don't end and sell similar, I'll be able to say, okay, items over 6 months old, I want to put on a sale, versus not. And so I have stopped. I do not do it anymore. I think it did help a little bit, but I do not do it anymore. I wanted to put this up, and then I'm going to let everybody tell you guys goodbye. Miss Linda said she remembers when Josh got fired from his job and had to do more YouTube and reselling. He blew up. Sometimes getting fired is a good thing. I actually had almost the same experience when I quit my nursing job. My teacup video went viral, I think 2 months after I quit, and I made the most money, even still to this day, that I've ever made on YouTube in a month, the month that video went viral. And I quit my job 10 months before I planned on quitting it. And then a few months later, I went viral and it blew up. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. All right, I'm going to let everybody tell you guys goodbye. So, and where to find them and what they've got going on. So here is Geno.
Well, guys, I put out a new video every Saturday around 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I would hope you come by and see it. I go on these ride-alongs. I tell you what I picked up, how much I spent for it, what I think I'm going to get for it. I add a little humor, at least I think it's funny. And I have some special effects also. But most of all, Amy, who's right next to me, and Tiffany have really great channels. And Kat does too. Fight it on again.
Never ever.
Those 3 women put great videos on. So go watch them too.
Perfect. Here is Miss Amy.
I love Geno. Geno and I go way back, and he's brilliant. So you should watch his channel too. I do videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. My Tuesday, Thursday videos come on about right before 6 o'clock, and my Saturday video is like a 11:45 a.m. I have an unlive sale. I say it like this, unlive, because it's stupid and I'm kind of dorky. But I have that going live tomorrow. And then I do a second one the following week, and I keep boxes open. But I just bring like 20 items, and they're just fun stuff that I've thrifted along the way. Gives me the opportunity to buy the things that don't have the sell-through rate on eBay, but are very cool. Usually one-of-a-kind stuff. So I have that going on a couple times a week. And I'm really close to 10,000. I've had my channel for a long time, and I haven't wanted to blow up. Unlike the 2 ladies that I love above, I was a little fearful of my being public. So I've taken my growth really slow. I've done it organically, and but I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of it. So if you aren't a subscriber, maybe just check me out. Maybe subscribe, and that I would really appreciate that. And thanks again, Kat, for having me again.
You are very welcome. Here's Miss Tiffany.
Thank you, Kat. I was so excited to be able to fill in for Sunny. Hope everything is going well with you guys, Sunny. I have a weekly Thrift With Me YouTube video, mostly Goodwill because it's a fan favorite. I'm doing daily shorts on YouTube, so please check those out. And sometime next week, I'm taking the kids down to Southern California to stay with my dad. So we will have some Southern California Goodwill thrifting coming up pretty soon. I have my online store. It's thriftingvegas.com. And following a suggestion from a subscriber and shopper, I recently added a collection, which is everything. So you don't have to go into the collection and look and get out and get into the next one. It's a collection where you can just scroll through and look at everything I have available. Yeah, that's it. Subscribe to Geno and YosoBoho and Kat the Nurse Flipper, all excellent channels and wonderful friends. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and thanks, Kat.
Thank you. All right. I'm trying to get our outro. Hold on. Let me take poor Tiffany out of the big. I'm trying to get our outro uploaded because I just finished it. I'm trying. It might not be working. We might just have to wave old school bye to you guys. I made it, but it doesn't, my computer doesn't like me today. I know, let me see, besides Scott, I know Scott is on with us next week. Let me see who else is on with us. Let's see. Oh, I have to find somebody. Scott? Well, I used to like book out like 3 and 4 months, and then nobody knew what they were doing so far out. So we quit booking out so far, and then we don't. And then we're like, oh wait, we need a guest. So we will find somebody to come on with Scott. And let me think. Tomorrow, I think I have 2 shows scheduled on Whatnot because I'm crazy like that. One at 11:30 and one at 6:30. Watch my video. Hopefully I get it out tomorrow on Catch Treasure Hunting, because some of this stuff from this last haul is insane, and it will be on Whatnot, a lot of it. So tomorrow at 11:30, if you like shot glasses, please come. I have a whole tote full of shot glasses that are super, super cool. Shy, message me. Let's see if Rachel can. Listen, she's like all over dancing with her kidney donating self, though. Maybe she'll come. Maybe she'll come. I've seen her. So shot glasses at 11:30. I'm doing 3 each or 2 for $5. And there's some pretty cool ones. These people traveled a lot. And then at 3:30, I'm doing linens. Those are both ones that like the shot glasses will be a really short show. That's why I did 2. And then Thursday is the barn pulls, but it's also going to be the Oriental and Asian collectibles that I pulled from this latest buy that will be on the video tomorrow. And they will be $3 starts. And there are some that are worth $30, $40 that'll be $3 starts. And then Friday is jewelry. So, and they're oh, and then I'm doing buttons on Saturday. Like I'm out of salt and pepper shakers. I sold 1,500 pairs of them. I have a few left, but not many. Tomorrow is what sold. Friday is high dollar what sold. Sunday is plush, a plush research video. And I started at $1,400 and went up. So if you don't know about plush, then watch that one. Special thanks to Tiffany for filling in for Sunny. I saw him in the chat for a little bit there. And Geno and Amy, thank you so, so much. We're going to have to wait. We have to old school it. I don't have my outro. So we got to say bye and wave. And we will see you guys next week.